Hey everyone, pleasure to be speaking to you once again. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today's video features my character, who is an interpretation of ERIS, the goddess of discord. You might know her from Greek mythos, and if not, allow me to shed some light, as mythology is a massive interest of mine, and I highly enjoy sharing fun facts about it. ERIS' mythos isn't as massive or extensive as many of the other Greek gods, but what is told about her has been referenced and referred to in popular media for generations, one of which you might know of is Sleeping Beauty. The most famous myth surrounding her is that of the Golden Apple of Discord. ERIS was not invited to the wedding of Peleus and Thetis. Sorry if I'm destroying the pronunciation on these names. But as revenge, she manifested a golden apple with the words "to the fairest" inscribed upon it, and then dropped the apple into the party. Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite all, claimed to the apple and, started fighting over it, because, they were all like, hey, I'm the fairest. And, that was a problem. Zeus kind of was like, well, I'm not handling this. Put it on the Prince of Troy, Paris, to decide who the apple would go to. And the winner was Aphrodite. Not necessarily for her looks, though, that could be argued, but she bribed him and promised him the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen. Even though Helen was already married, but, she's a goddess, so she could probably work her magic. This whole debacle led to the Trojan War, so that's fun. Kind of shows that ERIS doesn't really care. My interpretation kind of follows the same gimmick. She's less vindictive and more like she just finds discord to be really hilarious, so she's a big troll. Kind of a common trait with fools, actually. And with that fun little quip, I figured I'd take the time to answer a question I get asked often, which is, how did I come up with my art style? And while I could specify how, I'd rather instill some advice and some steps one could use to manifest their desired style. Something people might more profoundly benefit from. So first off, style in my mind has always been the word interpretation. How one views the universe around them and what they want to bring into the world. Therefore, we take from what appeals to us to make such traits more evident in our reality. I hope that makes sense. The first step I always suggest to folks who want to create a style is looking at the things they enjoy. The things that you grew up on that instilled the desire to create within you. Try and think back on what things stimulated that thirst for creativity. I'm sure there's a movie or a show or even a character design that sparked intrigue for you. You have your own specific reasons for liking that particular design, so what are they? What stands out to you? What would you change? What doesn't flow in your personal opinion? Do this with everything that has inspired you and see if you can pick up patterns. What are recurrent themes to all these characters and styles that you focus on? For example, I love a lot of features on Mew and Mewtwo's designs from Pokemon. But I absolutely hate Mewtwo's hands. And I hate how legs are drawn in Pokemon. I can't stand them. So when I draw them, I change it to how I want it to look. I pull from reality and how the average animal legs look, and I draw that instead. So try it. Pick a character you really enjoy, and then write a list of what you change, what you do differently, and then look for references of those things. Do you want it to be simple or detailed? Which appeals to you more, or why? And that's essentially how you make a style, at least one you'll enjoy doing. I myself analyze a lot of what I do and why I do it. I can tell you why I do each and every aspect of my style the way I do. Analysis is important. Understanding your likes, dislikes, and interests is important. Get to know yourself. That is the fundamental way to make any style, any art, is to understand yourself and putting that into the world, because you're the only you that's out there. There's no other person that's going to have your exact vision, your exact likes, your exact dislikes. You're wholly unique, and you just need to remember that. A lot of people don't think they're unique, but it's like, no, You have individual experiences. You have such important information, and that's fantastic and amazing, and never undermine that. You know, that's... You're never going to get the same story from anyone. I really appreciate people's unique perspectives and their way of doing things. I value individuality because I want to know the person. I want to know them. I want to know the individual. Through introspection, one can truly bring forth a clear, creative vision that is representative of who they actually are. Don't be afraid to experiment. Find out what works for you. Sometimes features are better in theory than in practice, but you can only find this out via trial and error. Remember, you're growing, I'm growing, we're all growing. So be kind to yourself. Don't be afraid to ask for help and advice or another opinion. Find out what you enjoy, because that's the true journey of an artist, is discovering yourself, putting yourself out there, and maybe it'll touch someone in a similar way and they will benefit from that, and you will hit someone to the core. I can't stress that enough. You will find at least one person that will appreciate your work, and even if it's just you, that's incredible. Like, don't undersell yourself. Just do it for you. I mean, that's my advice, and I'm still figuring stuff out, and you probably always will in your life, but that's what makes life enjoyable and fun. Not knowing everything, not having all the answers, continue learning and admitting to not knowing everything, so you can still learn, and you can still, help those around you. Information is meant to be explored and shared, not rigidly set in stone either. So don't be afraid to try things out. But I don't really know what else to say here, so I'm just gonna let the music or whatever sweep you away, and I'm gonna probably go back to working. Sorry these are so scarce. I don't do these vocal things that often, and that's primarily due to the fact that I'm in an environment that doesn't allow that all the time. In fact, there is a cat meowing in the background, so that kind of gives you indication. There's sound everywhere. Yeah, have a good day, and I hope you're able to take something away from this silly little video. But, bye!